must be our first issue that we have to address. Energy security is real. Energy poverty is real that we need. We are abundantly blessed. That is not the case. That is not right. Because we have to be very careful receiving lectures as Caribbeans and African people from those that have profited so much with these resources now today after here. First thing, like we discussed yesterday in the oil and gas panel, both can't just be about climate, can't just be about we have to listen to some 15 or 19-year-old girl in the Scandinavian. They don't understand what it means going to bed at night not having electricity. You don't understand what it means getting up in the morning and your streets being flooded and then you have no hope and nobody to put that. They don't get it. And if they don't get it, it's up to us to try to find a way to find those features and create that for ourselves. Well, Mr. Ayuk, they say, we need to transition. It's really important that we go with the flow. What are we transitioning to? From the dark to the dark? We need to ask those questions to ourselves. You can't just say transition from what? Well, you're going to breathe clean air, they say. Nobody wants to breathe clean air in the dark. We need to get energy. We need lights. And when you get lights, you get energy. But then if we say, well, let's embrace this source, in Copenhagen, we're going to give you $100 billion every year. You'll just abandon your resources in the ground. Well, that check didn't come. They didn't pay. You know, I kind of wear cowboy boots, so I kind of love some things out of Texas. They say, fool me once, shame on you. But fool me twice, shame on me. The truth of the matter is that sources to say, let's move into a transition when we've not dealt with our energy security and Caribbean nations. Where is the money? How are you going to spend time with her at COP26 in Glasgow? She gave one of the best speeches there where she called on the world to really pay attention to this. But there's something else happened after her speech in Glasgow. Everybody took these promises. They said, we, the nation, went out and gave 52 oil licenses for drilling. Australia opened more drilling. US opened all federal lands for drilling. Then they come down to the Caribbean nations and say, leave it in the ground. No, we refuse. And we should reject that notion. You can't tell poor people in Africa and the Caribbean, leave it in the ground. This is not the time. Produce every self. Like I said yesterday, Batman ain't coming. Wakanda Forever is still a good movie, but the Black Panther is not coming. Your natural resources are going to be what is going to get you out of this. But as we prepare to have this discussion and go right into COP, and I'll close with this. We need both. You need an energy mix. We need to have a solid voice that speaks to the collective suffering of our people to be able at COP have a united African, Caribbean voice, loss and damages, because we need that for our people. Whether you are never, ever abandon our resources, because we know in the market, but at the same time telling others to. Thank you.
And this conversation I'm about to have with my conversationalist will show you where the hope is and how individually, collectively, with a resounding round of applause as if there were 1,000 people in the room. He is a senior partner and co-founder, Africa Legal Associates, ALA. The louder you clap, the more. Joining us, definitely not the person, Mr. Kenny David, head law enforcement government. Martin, I'm proud of you because I think the concept of what fund for export development in Africa is huge. But you give us the honors of describing the narrative and challenges that exist. Three,
energy crisis, doesn't have access to electricity, have to produce more energy, industrialize Africa. I think energy needs Inga has the capacity to almost provide electricity and the big